Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Cutoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policies in Ontario end today. Canadians still rally after Freedom Convoy protests dismantled. Feds provide Pearson with $142 million in funding, including money to begin planning for eventual connection with Eglinton Crosstown. Poliway pitches to new immigrants as Brown attacks him over 2015 niqab ban bill. Patrick Brown, Mayor of Brampton, Ontario, joins race to lead federal Conservatives. Loblaw companies buying Lifemark Health Group for $845 million in cash. International students are getting more postgraduate work permits and median earnings are increasing. Kevin Gossman impresses teammates in first bullpen sessions with Blue Jays. Crabs lead Sabres over Maple Leafs in Heritage Classic. So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. The broad legal requirement for places such as schools, long-term care homes, and hospitals in Ontario to maintain mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policies expires today. All facilities can retain their own policy if they choose to do so. Impacted sectors will continue to receive supply of rapid antigen tests and healthcare, and congregate care staff and residents remain eligible for free PCR testing. Also starting today, the province is further relaxing visitor rules at long-term care homes. Although the convoy ended on a bad note during the police intervention that took place on January 18th and 19th, this hasn't stopped protesters from demonstrating every week for the past 2 weeks in support of the convoy and continue to make their voices heard about their disagreement with the vaccine mandates. On March 5th, another demonstration was held on Parliament Hill where many people gathered to march and form a human chain. A human chain was held in Invades, Quebec, and other cities and provinces in Canada. The federal government will provide Pearson International Airport with more than $142 million in funding for critical infrastructure work, including money to begin to carry out design work for a proposed connection with the Eglinton Crosstown line. Minister of Transport Omar Alghabra made the announcement this morning, noting that the money will help Pearson invest in infrastructure needed to help invigorate the aviation industry following the damage caused by COVID-19. Patrick Brown, the newest entrant in the Conservative leadership race, kicked off his campaign this morning by blasting opponent Pierre Poliway over his presence in the party in 2015 when it pushed creating a tip line for barbaric cultural practices. The attack came as Poliway spent the past few days meeting with cultural community leaders in Greater Toronto Area and promising to cut the red tape for immigrants wanting to access the necessary licenses they need to work in the regulated industries. Loblaw Companies Limited announced a deal today to buy Lifemark Health Group for $845 million in cash. It has more than 300 clinics across Canada. Loblaw, which owns Shoppers Drug Mart, said the deal helped grow its business as a healthcare service provider. The company said the deal will create a network of thousands of individual healthcare professionals with complementary expertise. Patrick Brown has officially joined the race to lead the federal Conservatives with a promise to heal the fractures that have erupted in the party over recent years. Brown launched his campaign in Brampton, Ontario, where he served as mayor since 2018.
Values and not the historic overreach of the Emergencies Act. We deserve a government that actually helps Canadians and doesn't saddle them with generations of debt and a heavy burden of new taxes. We deserve a federal government capable of doing what it takes to protect us against an unstable world, protect allies like the people of Ukraine, and to stand against tyrants like Vladimir Putin. That is a future we must fight with everything that we have. Aujourd'hui, je vous demande votre appui pour devenir le chef du Parti conservateur du Canada. And that is why today I'm asking you to help me fight for this future as leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. I am more than ready for this fight. I know what it takes to keep fighting when everyone comes against you and still win. When the media tried to make me cancel culture's latest victim by smearing me with false allegations, I fought back and won. And even when this battle was still raging, the people of Brampton stood behind me and lifted me up and chose me to fight for them as mayor. I have always fought for a justice system that works for victims, not just the criminals. When a serial pedophile, Madeleine Harks, moved into Brampton, a monster who had over 60 victims, over 200 offenses, I led the charge that resulted in the police putting this perpetrator back behind bars and started a national conversation on protecting the rights of a community over the rights of a repeat dangerous offender. When my constituent Darlene Henry was attacked in a local park and was re-traumatized by her assaulter being granted bail, I worked with her to build a national campaign for bail reform. I have fought criminals and gangs who bring illegally imported guns into the GTA. When everyone else was silent against legislation that bans religious symbols, I fought to protect religious freedom. Religious freedom is a foundational value in our country. No one should ever lose their job based on their faith, and we must fight. We must fight for the right of equality of opportunity for every Canadian, no matter if they wear a turban, a cross, a hijab, or a kippah, because that is a Canadian value. Lorsque tout le monde était silencieux contre la loi qui interdit les symboles religieux, je me suis battu pour
A small crowd gathered as Kevin Gossman began his first official bullpen session as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Players, coaches, scouts, and reporters all slowed down or stopped nearby to watch Gossman pitching to catcher Reese McGuire today at Toronto's Player Development Center in Dunedin. Although other Blue Jays pitchers were also getting their works in, all eyes were on Gossman. Vinny Hinostroza's second goal of the game from a sharp angle was the difference Sunday in the Buffalo Sabres' 5-2 victory over Toronto in the Heritage Classic Outdoor Showcase. With the score tied 2-2 in the third period, under fire Leafs netminder Peter Mrazek failed to seal his post on the center shot from the corner that snuck between his arm and near post for his 10th goal of the season. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simona Cutoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Adios.